Hello, fellow YouTubers. I'm back, a little less shaven and a bit more scruffy and wearing a different shirt. As you can see, I've relocated. Anyway, this is another update on the WinGun 708S, and this can be done on any of the WinGun revolvers. All of you have seen this cartridge. It's the WinGun 100, basically a copy of the 38 Special. In fact, the 38 Special cartridge fits into the WinGun series like a glove, but you can't fire it. Thank goodness for that, although I am working on a way to get around that, because it is stainless steel, but I don't have any way of rifling, so it'll just be a smooth bore. But if you do remove the internal cylinder, or inner barrel, it just so happens that the caliber on the outside of that 6mm barrel is caliber .355, which will in fact handle a 38 or any 9mm caliber. Not a .357. It's too long to actually fit. But what I've done is I've created, and you don't have to modify the pistol whatsoever. You don't even have to take the orange tip off. What you're going to see here is a handmade mod. This took 4 days to make them. I made them a long time ago. I've tested them. I actually made 7. And when I tested one at home on my target, it punched through 3 layers of denim, through a block of gel, which wasn't very big, and lodged itself in what do you call that thing? A stud. In the stud. It took me about 6 minutes to dig it out. What I did was I cut some fishing lure weight, and handcrafted it into a 6.2, 6.1mm slug, and then hammered it down a 6mm barrel. And when it came out the other end, I filed it down to size, but I wasn't done there. If you look in the middle, and yes, that's not a regular airsoft, that is a 6mm slug. In the middle is a cut and sharpened stainless steel nail. What that does is acts as a steel core. So when the lead deforms, which it will because it's soft, unjacketed lead, the steel core continues to penetrate through. It's packed inside here very tight to ensure that it seals with silicone grease, usually used on AEGs and other gas airsoft rifles. The most important thing about this, should you choose to do something like this, make sure you have some experience with real firearms. These slugs are incredibly dangerous. From what I've seen, at a very close range, like Derringer distances of 5 feet, you can crack the sternum. It'll go between the ribs and destroy organs. Put to the temple, it'll punch through, but not go all the way through. It won't. I don't know what it will do in its maximum damage, because I've tested 1 round. But the fact that it went through so much and kept punching was really nerve-wracking to me. So I keep the 6 shells. I still have a Ruger P95 and a Stevens 320 pump-action 12-gauge. But when I didn't have any firearms at the time, I didn't. And I decided I needed something maybe to protect myself, so I would experiment with it. The result is this monster here. So, to show that it will cycle and will not have problems and will align, I will not fire this. The pistol does have gas in it. If I do, I'll destroy my camera, my monitor, and put a hole in my wall. But where did she go? Where did she go? There she is. You all recognize her. The WinGun 708S. The muzzle's a little torn up because I made some adjustments to it. I need a special bit to smooth it out. But as you can see, it cycles. And yes, it is gassed. So what I'm going to do is insert the cartridge. If you look, it's a very clean and perfect fit, which means that when it goes in, if you look off, you'll see here, there it is. It rotates into position perfectly, and it rotates out of position perfectly. So to set that back, I'm going to show you that these lead slugs, if you watch, and you can see here how it aligns, there's the barrel plunge system that keeps the seal and the grommet on the rear. It has no problem sealing the entire assembly. They've been trimmed just right. The end result is a devastating machine. I'm not going to discharge this. It will destroy property. I'm just showing this can be done. I'm going to end with a disclaimer here. Unless you're going to be operating on a range in a controlled environment with hearing and eye protection, firing away from you and not pointing at anything you do not intend to destroy, it's safe. It's time-consuming and not expensive. But otherwise, do not try this at home. If you want rounds packed for you, I can make them for you. Just send me 6 shells, and I'll pack them for you. However, if you're in various states such as New York, Connecticut, California, and several others, Utah, I cannot do that for you. It's illegal to do that. Technically, this is not a mod of the airsoft gun. The airsoft gun is completely stock, aside from cosmetic changes. This is just simply creating a new projectile. Technically, you could take any airsoft gun with a 6mm airsoft barrel, as they almost all are, besides the 8mm, ramrod it down like a musket, and fire it. This makes a hollow point pellet look like a joke. The end result is more of a strike of a .22 Predator traveling at 1200. Although it's roughly 25 grains. They each weigh a little differently. 25.2, 25.1, 25.3, but they stay within fixed tolerances. Every round is test fired into gel, then repacked to make sure that it travels correctly, and so that your gun doesn't get damaged if it goes through this one. And as you can see, the barrel is perfectly healthy. There is no problem with the functionality of it. The barrel is happy. It's a little off, but you still get the working plunging mechanism. So when you cycle, the barrel will come and in and out and dive, as it should, so that it seals to the next chamber. Another word of advice, do not keep the airsoft gun loaded with these rounds. In fact, don't keep this airsoft gun loaded, period. Only load it when you're ready to fire. The only reason why I keep gas in it is it's an ongoing experiment to see how long a gas cylinder lasts and if it leaks. The gas cylinder that's been in here has been in just past about a day and a half after my last video that was uploaded, and it still is at full power and it hasn't lost pressure, which is a testament to the quality of a $130 airsoft gun. So if you're looking for a reliable airsoft gun to give you some excellent practice, this is it. Without question, this is it. But you need to understand that if somebody sees this with these mods, and they think, they're not going to think, they're going to know you have a firearm, even though it isn't a firearm. Their assumption will pass on to knowledge. And the chances of you getting shot by a live firearm from an officer is pretty high. Last thing, if any of you people, and I feel sorry for anyone that it's been used on, if any of you guys actually skirmish with this thing, you're an ass. This thing hurts. It leaves massive welts with just .2s, .25s, or even worse. Imagine, a full 25 6mm slug with a nail through it, getting a perfect seal, a better seal than an airsoft BB, because it's actually got the silicone packed in it. Imagine what that's going to do to somebody. The only thing I can say is that if you use it as a projectile, there's no rifling or tool marks to really trace it. But if I do make them for you, they will be traceable. So all I ask is, please be careful with this knowledge. I'm sharing it with you guys, letting you know that it can be done. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and go. Have fun and be careful, and remember that if you do something like this, you're right about to cross the line. So my advice to WinGun: change your shell design. You've copied a 38 a special, and you have made an airsoft gun capable of firing slug lead. That should never happen. Change your design. Thank you. And until then, buy up what you can. Have fun, guys. Enjoy. And I'm going to go pop off some more rounds. So just take care. See ya.